We're live. The Leo Perez morning show. So today we have Lana Del Rey on the cover. And so, okay, look, first thing first. You are the only one who is going to hear this announcement, but I guess tell everybody, because I made a decision about all my предметы. I'm simplifying my life and the life of everybody. So I'm introducing something that I call the simplified grading system. So there are main and simple projects, and all projects have the same value towards the final grade. It doesn't matter if it's simple or complex, you know. Everybody has to do everything, and everything has the same value, you know. And the amount of projects that I will give across the semester. I mean, when I started, I said like we're gonna do project 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are the projects, and then this gives me not freedom to change it at the center of the semester if I want to create a new project or add stuff. So I decided that the amount of projects that we'll be giving in the whole year is not set. So maybe in the end of the year we would have done 20 projects, and new projects will come as the year evolves, and all of them have the same value, you know, like either the single or the little micro exercise. I think I will do it like that. I'm thinking about this like same value. Maybe the single that is will have a bit more value than the others, but in general everything is kind of the same. Because I mean I'm trying to find a way to push you guys to deliver your work. Like I really don't understand why people are so disconnected from the course this year. And I don't do this for me. I'm not doing this for me because I personally I don't have any like you know, problems with this personal. But sorry, I got distracted for a second because this guy that owes me money is writing me something there, and this client that owes me money is writing me something there that doesn't make so much sense. So let me just close this because I don't want to lose his attention. I got our from 12/18 of December from another client. Sorry for this. Another client. Just let me just complete this because I don't. This guy is like he's always traveling. He's always around and. Hello. I'm giving a lecture. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amor. This guy's always traveling, always doing something, so I rather reply to him right now before I lose his page, his focus. Wait, yeah, yeah. Sorry for this. Just a second. Clients. Wait, let me just send him the proof. And then I move on. On December 18th. Yeah. So, yeah, he owes me just for a long time. So I'm just like, you know, the kind of guys who disappears, and then when they appear, you just, if I don't reply to him now, he will like no reply to me for 5 days or something. So back to what I was saying. Yeah, I'm just trying to sort of like motivate you and focus you a little bit. So whatever, that's what I decided. We don't know how many projects there will be. If somebody misses lectures, they will miss the projects. And I don't know, it seems like everybody is acting as if you cannot fail the course. So you can fail the course and then you'll have to repeat like a year or something. And so I just don't understand what people are doing here. But anyways, whatever. Let's move on. I as I tell you, I don't say this personally. I don't care personally about this. It's about your development. So okay, we have every lecture we have this summary of things, so nothing new here. We don't add nothing new because the last lecture was just about producing Masha's song, and there was no new content that we added here. So let me explain you what this presentation is. Are you there with me, Andriuja? Everything cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me explain you what this presentation is, because it's a special thing that I developed for all of you guys. So in Foundation, I prepared like a material, this was when you guys were in Foundation. I prepared a material that was called Making Your Ideas Grow, and it was some sort of like recommendations to make musical ideas grow. And that, of course, over the years I have been like reteaching this, showing it to other people, thinking about it and stuff. And nowadays I have this sort of like this presentation that is designed for when people get stuck, or when people don't have inspiration in that moment, and maybe you want to kind of like, you know, at 4 a.m. in the morning, listen a little bit of advice from somebody that can help you, and you open this deck of slides, and then maybe you will find a little idea there that can inspire you. So it's just a whole bunch of production methods and ideas put in one slide. So in the current Foundation that I'm giving right now, this slide repeats in many lectures, because we just have like a group of ideas here. It's not like new content or something. The point is that to group a lot of ideas here. So in the flow of the presentation that I wanted to give today, I mean, we are going to analyze this presentation and see what is there and how can we use it. Hello, Grish. So we're going to analyze this presentation and see how we can use it. But before we do that, I wanted to discuss your work. Just wanted to show you kind of what's going on. So if I open here музыкальный производство синглов, I found like a new way to visualize the work today. So you can see kind of all the assignments that I had given to you, and we were here. The last thing that we discussed was rhythm and practice, and Uliana sent me something here, and I wanted to discuss it, but we will see it in a minute. Uliana is not here also, and I wanted to kind of like use her little song as an inspiration to explore the principles that I'm showing in this presentation. So Grisha just arrived, and I would, because we kind of started a little bit later, I will happily explain what's going on quickly. So Grisha, firstly, I said that there is like something that I'm calling the simplified grading system. So basically, when I start new courses in the future, I will never say how many projects we will do, because I don't know how many projects we will do. We will just do a lot of projects, and I think that all of them will have the same valuation towards the final grade. Because what I'm looking for is that people become consistent. Like, one of the reasons what I keep getting clients is because people ask me to do something and I do it. But I ask you to do something and you don't do it. So I decided that I'm going to stop kind of like being so structured about projects, and I'm just going to behave like a client. Here is a whole bunch of things that I want you to do. If you don't do them for me, I don't send you money, and that's it. So what do I mean by I don't send you money? You don't pass the course. So, and if you don't pass the course, it's your problem, and then you'll face those consequences. So I don't mean to be annoying, but that's how it is. And then, of course, there is a summary like in every lecture. And I was explaining, Grisha, when you arrived, that that this deck of slides is designed for people, just like when people get stuck. It's sort of like a whole bunch of recommendations of things you can do to create music out of nowhere. And it starts from the point of view of beats, and then it shows you as well from the point of view of music. So, and in here I have added, this is actually basically a presentation that I started developing in Foundation when you guys were in Foundation, but I have refined across the years, and I added some new stuff last night that it's what I wanted to demonstrate. And Grisha, the other thing I said was that I really wanted to develop this set of lectures, which is about the choosing of the tonality of the songs that you're going to work in. But I gotta be honest, like, I'm burnt. I need a holiday. So when I was preparing this lecture in particular, I said, man, I'm gonna take it easy. I have a lot of material, so let's just cover this, and then I will go to that. The next step that I will do is to go to that space in which we will start thinking about which tonality we're gonna use. So great. About the work that I wanted to discuss, we had something from Juliana here. It's a pity that she's not here. It was like the rhythm practice. She did something really cool, some little chord progression, and one of the options that we have today was to develop this chord progression and to create something. Check it out.
Dis-moi la pression, je vais donner ma version, j'ai pas besoin, voir le chemin.
So, as you can imagine, we can create a whole fucking super cool song out of that. This was the rhythm and rhyme practice that Juliana delivered for us, and she made a second version. Of course, the idea of this was that she would be presenting this to us today and explaining it, but
Dis-moi la pression, je vais donner ma version, j'ai pas besoin, voir l'avenir.
Awesome. Great. So we are gonna go back to this idea. Thank you. Wait, my client paid, by the way. Hurrah! Thank you very much. Sorry for this. Please let me know if you have any comments or questions. I'll be in the studio today. Okay, great. So, and the other work that I have here around that we haven't discussed, by the way, is Andriuja's. It's like a little Andriuja's melody. We discussed it, Andrei. We discussed it.
Yeah.
We discussed it. So great. We're covered with your work that is there on the back. I wanted to see other stuff that we can do, but there is no more works developed by anybody. So look, about growing beats, I have made this presentation. I have made this lecture for Foundation, and I have it recorded in video, really in detail, and I want to share it with you. And it's really amazing. Like, I really recommend you to watch this. I will put it as extra commentary of this course, but yeah, it's a whole lecture on how to build beats. And what I'm having here in this set of presentation is the summary of that. It's like, how can I start beats? Well, you can decompose another beats and move the component parts. You can use speech. I've been really inspired by this lately. And what do I mean by use speech? Like, just like, you see, what do I mean by use speech? Like, what do I mean by using speech? What do I mean by just like decomposing a sentence of a person? And actually, like, I mean, the point of this deck of slides is like ways to get you unstuck when you are stuck. Wait, let me not close Outlet on Live. But what I mean about using speech is, so I'm gonna go through all these points and kind of like demonstrate some little production ideas. Wait, let me just add an audio track. Hey, okay. Hey, okay, there it is. So what I meant is this, like, what do I mean by using speech? So we get something like drums, VST, wave shell. No, I want to go here, drums, sorry. And so what do I mean by using speech? Wait. So what do I mean by using that's what I mean by using speech. So why do I mean by using speech? And that's what I mean by using speech. So why do I mean by using speech? And I have a new piece of a beat, and I have a new piece of a beat, and I have a new piece of my, and I have a new piece of a beat, and I have a new piece of a beat, and I have a new piece of a beat, and I have a new piece of our beat, and I have a new piece of our beat. So let me just record this. Wait. Lala, привет. Привет, Lala. And I have a new piece of a beat. I was there. So, and I have a new piece of a beat. And I have a new piece of a beat. I did something longer there than what it should have been. And I have a new piece. And I have a new piece of a beat. Oh no, and I have a new piece of a beat. One more kick. And I have a new piece of a beat. Great. So, I mean, basically I'm saying, why do I mean by using speech? You can see what I mean by using speech. You can use speech to create beats, and this can be really useful. Let me just change this, maybe change this thing so they become more interesting. Wait, let me just put the snares back here. The snares back here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And so I have, what do I mean by using speech? Wow, it's super Latina stuff. That thing that came out there from what do I mean by using speech. Yeah, I need one more kick, right? This is what I mean when I use speech. Great. Pum, pum. Okay. I guess I need to change this so it becomes what I want. I need to change it to a triplet grid, and then nope. Great. Okay. Well, that's what I mean by using speech. Anyways, I'm not gonna develop it fully, but you get what I mean. The other case that I was saying, and it's all here, so you can come back and check it out anytime. Lala, so you know what's happening? We just started recently about this. This is a presentation that carries a whole bunch of little ideas that you can use when you get stuck. So that's the whole point. It's like making your idea grows. And I wanted to apply this to your rhythm and practice case. Are you there with us, Lala?
Yeah, yes.
You remember that you sent these chord progressions with some vocal melody? So I loaded that on Ableton, and I just wanted to write a bit of music with it. But while I was doing that, I wanted to show you this presentation that has a whole bunch of ideas on how to get unstuck if you get stuck when you're writing, or if you don't have inspiration, or you need something out of nowhere. So we start from the point of view of beats, and I was saying you can maybe grab another beat and move its component parts. So what I meant by that, and I didn't demonstrate it, it was like, let's say that you load a beat from the media. This is obvious, and I know that you know it, but you can also grab, like here, I think there is like samples, right? Or not samples, but clips. Yeah, that's what I want. And then just load some clip and then change it, whatever. Like, that's what I meant by the first option. So I mean, I can just grab this. All these are the component parts. And let me change the grid. No, it's not quantize. So whatever, I can just think about these toms and change the position of them. Whatever, let me just put it here. That was the first, that's definition. Like whatever, let me just put them here and change the place where they were originally. And then, oh, what a new beat. Haha, and I can start creating something. So great, first things first. Then the second thing was, I said, was use speech. So record yourself saying something, literally. I just recorded myself saying, what do I mean by using speech? So, and then I converted that into some beat, you know. And then I can start making a song like that. So there's no way to get stuck. Then I was talking about beatboxing. I gave you a big lecture in Foundation about this, and I'm not going to repeat it. Sometimes, like, just using beatboxing is a good idea to get unstuck, and it can get you in the path of writing something really quickly. Starting from an old idea, I mean, hey, you know, just go back there and grab some like music that you made like last year, and maybe just take. There are sometimes some little pieces that are not completed that stay there, sort of like in the limbo, you know. So go and grab them and recover them and just keep going. And the other thing I described. By the way, please refresh my memory. Sorry that I'm so crazy. We have discussed this new list this year? I don't think so, right? Because I reviewed it yesterday and I don't see it.
New list, what do you mean?
This new list of things, I mean, that I'm showing to you right now. We haven't discussed them, right, yet this year. Am I wrong?
Yeah, we
didn't discuss them.
We haven't. Yeah, I'm afraid, because right now, guys, I'm telling you, I'm giving 7 lectures a week. So everything gets mixed up like sometimes. So great, I'm happy. So the other thing, and this is really important new piece of advice that I have for you. It's a great way I find to create beats, really. Like starting from a specific drum pattern. So in this case, because I remember luckily I still have some little bash of memory remaining on my life, and I remember what I have discussed with you, and I know that this is a little bit of a new proposal that I have for you guys on how to create beats. It's like go to YouTube and find like a drummer solo video or something, and then extract a little piece of that drummer solo video, and after you extract that little piece, convert that into a beat. So I'm going to show you a case like that. So I was telling you like, hey, go to YouTube and get snippets of a drum solo or performance, then mess around with random loops that come out from those songs you listen. So by the way, do you guys know who is Anthony Burns?
No.
Have you heard about Anthony Burns, Andriuha or Grisha?
Yes.
You have heard it, Andriuha. And Grisha, have you?
No.
Anthony Burns is a music producer for Brooklyn. I think he's from Brooklyn. That he's created. He found a really cool niche, man. He's creating Burns. He's creating songs that they are supposed to be performed by crazy drummers, and he's creating really amazing, difficult songs. And the point is that he puts them out on the internet without drums, and he gives it to drummers to create some drums around it. So, for example, there is this very famous song of him that is called Supercharge. It's this one, and you will see like it's just obviously an amazing song, but it has no drums really. So it's kind of like video game music, everything. I love this song so much. It's really amazing. So there are hundreds of drummers who created drum parts for this song, and this is one of them. It's Willie Rodriguez. He's the new drummer of the Mars Volta. So he's making a whole bunch of songs like this. Supercharge is one of them. It's like, so if you go and search like Supercharged drums, you will get like 10 different drummers who created drums for this. So there is this like this guy, for example, is like Eric Moore, and he has his own version like of it, and it's different than the version that Willie Rodriguez made. And he has another one called Game Over. I think it's amazing. Game Over is super cool song. I think it's called Game Over. T Beats is like kind of his Gamer. Sorry, it's called Gamer. T Beats is his like handle as a producer. You know, it's kind of like, and it's a super gaming song. I love this song. And so there is like drum covers of this song, for example. This is like some kid in New York or whatever in the USA, like just So anyways, the reason why I'm showing you this, you see, and it's like there are hundreds of these videos. It's like really cool. It's a really cool like genre that he created. It's like drumless tracks. But anyways, we are not interested in drumless tracks. We're interested in drum tracks because we want to create some songs. So I'm going to, for now, I guess that what I would do if I would be alone and I would have some time is to download this WAVka or this MP3 and then use this MP3 as a little inspiration to create a new beat. So, but I'm gonna do it in a bit of a simplified way. So I'm just gonna listen to him. Okay, for example, I'm gonna extract this ta 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 ta. So I'm just gonna go there. I'm using him as an inspiration. You can call it copying if you want. I don't care if you call it copying. I don't think it's copying. It's a reference to another track. I don't think that's a crime to do. So he was doing. There was this tu ta tu. Like it was and it was a faster BPM, so I'm gonna kind of like count that BPM and let me see it. BPM counter. Just let me see what's the BPM of supercharged. Let me just go here. So I'm going to start in 163 here. Of course, this will change all of the other stuff I did. Something. So, I think it's again, we're in triplets world. Yes, some polyrhythm is happening there actually. And I guess, I don't know if this one goes here. Let me see. Yeah, I need to put this guy here. I guess it's. There you go. So now I can forget about that reference song that I heard. And now I have a. Imagine, man, that's a sick beat for an electronic music piece. Woo! And actually, when I made this first lecture ever, when I made this demonstration of this idea of extracting something, I asked the audience, tell me a song. So I ask you, tell me any song in the world. We made it with the band Chorny Coffee the first time I made this. So tell me the most stupid song you can think of, the most ridiculously stupid thing. Can you tell me something? Just anything.
Rasputin.
Rasputin?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm gonna get a lot of results like that. So what can I use? What else should I write? Rasputin. What song? I see. Rasputin song. Here it is. So this one, right? You mean?
Yeah.
Just a sec. So let me just grab this song. Just... with a disco beat. So that's not what I mean. I mean something like this. For example, you wanna create some new beat and you're stuck and you don't have any ideas. Like, I mean, one of the things you can do is to go to a drum solo, for example. I mean, in this case, it doesn't work because it's just a disco beat. So every time and the whole beat never changes across the song. So I'm just gonna open a drum solo from any drummer and stand on the center. Let me see. Super metal. But anyways, I wanted to prove you that anything is useful. Okay, taco duta. He did this thing which is like taco duta, taco duta, taco tuku, taco duta, taco duta, taco tuku. And my whole point that I want to show you too is that it doesn't matter if he's playing the toms, whatever he is playing, like you will be able to get somewhere useful here. So he did like. It was like and I want to play it how he played it. I mean with toms, and then we're going to change it. Let me see where the other. Okay. Okay, so it was like. Let me just record that. Let me put it to record. That's what kind of I heard there. Let me just quantize this. I'm in triplet, so maybe it was the wrong algorithm. But move these guys a bit. Great, so now I got this. That's what I heard in that drum solo. And then, okay, but then I can obviously change that a little bit. So I don't like those toms, like I just want it to sound like something like that. Let me just change that to hi-hat. Let me put a hand clap there, let me see what happens. And let me change those snares for a kick. Great, so now what I got there. And let's actually combine it with the other beat I made here. So we have this like... So let me just quickly... Now I want to make some sort of like a breakcore song. Wait, electronic music. By the way, I want to recommend you. Are you still with me? I mean, I feel a little bit lonely. Are you still with me? Is this very stupid? Or is this very stupid? Is this very stupid, or is there some value in what we're discussing? I mean, I'm just talking about ways to get that is impossible that you get stuck. It doesn't matter who asks you for work or when, you always need to deliver. So I'm just discussing little ways to get stuck. So I wanted to recommend you some little thing that I'm doing lately. It's like, let me just show you like this. Wait, yeah, I started making this like Telegram channels where I'm alone, like it's just for me, and just sending me screenshots of patches like in scenes, you know. It's just I'm telling you a little suggestion here. Like, so for example, I know that there is this guy here. I'm doing this for the movie that I'm writing. Cool pad with rising feature, good for techno part. So I'm just gonna go straight to that right now, like easy chords on the synclavier. So I'm gonna start there, and I'm just gonna load it here. Plugins. So my recommendation right now is about making this Telegram channel and send yourself screenshots of scenes when you're playing around with them, and write a comment of what it's good for, and then it can help you to get unstuck too. So let me just load here plugins, Arturia, so synclavier it was. And then let's load that patch, which is called it's called like easy chords. So let me see what was that, and if it's really gonna help me here. So all types is gonna be easy chords. Where is the letter E? Easy chords. Easy chords. So let me see if this really. So. Something there already. Sorry, I made a mistake. Let me just quickly correct it right away. I wanted to play A. I'm just making this progression upwards. So let me continue. Boo. Okay. Mistake there again. I wanted to play D. So let's just get this there. And cool, and I can imagine I can just go back to this right after this little break that I made here, and repeat my idea. And so I end up having a 3-bar sentence, and this came from listening to some like Willie Rodriguez and some random drum solo that I don't even know who it is. course, if I layer that, woo, I can get so far, right? If I start now on top of this, I can start creating some stuff, right? So let me just put a kick here quickly. And wait, I'm just gonna put like a bit of a techno kick, like just duplicate this. Great. And I got unstuck. So that was really cool. Do you guys get stuck sometimes, or do you never have this problem? How does it work for you?
I usually get stuck. That's the most time I spend stuck in something.
Okay. So I mean, all of this, you arrive a little bit late, and I explained to the guys what's this all about. Wait a second, I'll tell you in a second. But you see, like, man, it's like 10, 11, 20 a.m. And of course, if I layer the, I mean, I'm saying it's 11:20 a.m. and I already wrote a little song today. Like, of course that we can never get stuck. Like, it can happen. Like, and also I have people looking at me. I'm giving a lecture. Like, so now I have some dream, and I mean, and I'm not getting stuck. That's what I'm trying to say. Let me just play like I'm even gonna do it like so stupid. I'm gonna play the same I played, but backwards. You know, like. Let me see, and in this organ. Make something a bit more trippy. Let me just find here like a pad kind of thing. Great. Okay. Let me just explore this. Before I lose it. I got some little melody there that came out of nowhere, etc. I mean, this idea of like going and looking at drummers doing something and extracting a group from them, it's a great idea that will get you unstuck, like, for sure. I know, Grisha, that the type of music you make perhaps doesn't use a beat like this, because this is more like, obviously, party. This is maybe more useful for Andrei, what I just did. Maybe for Lala also it's not so useful. Maybe for you guys the main problem is kind of like the chord progressions and the melody more than the beats. Am I right?
Yeah, I never stuck on a beat because I'm a drummer.
You never start, or you always start?
I never stuck on the beat.
You're never stuck with the beat, of course.
Yeah.
And Grisha and Lala?
Well, I kind of create the music I create because I suck a bit at the rhythmic part.
Yeah.
So it's actually
so you're
the other
conditioned.
way around. It's not like I don't need it. I don't have it. That's why I write this music.
Have you ever tried something like what I just showed right now?
Like with borrowing, or you mean like
Borrowing? Yeah, I mean like going and opening another drummer, see what they're doing, and just like imitate it.
I think the closest things I've done was making a beat with different ship sounds. That's a bit. It was more like sampling, not like really borrowing. I just used a lot of samples from like this cool videos where huge ships are like unloaded on the water.
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of cool sounds, and I was
see.
sampling them.
I see.
But
Oh,
it wasn't the same. Yeah,
I see.
it was a bit different.
Yeah, this is just a way of extracting beats. Like, I'm gonna look, and the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about today, I'm sorry, I know I'm a little bit chaotic in this presentation. It's just like, it's the end of the year. I'm just like on the bone. So I promise you that I'll come with full force next year. But one of the main things that I wanted to explore today is just like I mean, just ways of getting unstuck and ways of moving forwards, whatever the case is and whatever is happening. So I kind of lost my thread there when I started explaining that I'm so chaotic, and then I lost where I was going. We were discussing creating beats, and we were discussing the fact that back to thread. One of the things I wanted to discuss in this week, kind of with all my students, is the importance of moving around the BPM. Because of course, if you move around the BPM, you're gonna end up in such a different place. So this is how this beat sounds in 163. And I'm thinking about Grisha's style of songwriting, and I'm thinking that maybe this kind of stuff is not so useful because we're working in this like kind of like techno / party mode. But if I change this to 98, you know, so starting to become something that could be a song of Grisha, like just by changing the BPM. Maybe not with this with this melodic movement, chromatic melodic movement, but I can imagine something like let me just load here I mean I'm trying to get in myself in the writing style of Grisha, kind of like. So I'm gonna go here and just load a bass guitar just quickly. Instruments. If I write here bass, let me see what I got here. No, I want to get like an actual bass guitar. I'm just a bit lazy to pull out my bass guitar. Oh, right. Yeah, something like this. Just like I mean, I'm trying to simulate like a bass guitar from like an actual electric bass guitar. But I'm gonna use this upright bass. Just for no, I fucked it up. Something nice came out from this mistake. Anyways.
It sounds like a trance techno.
Yeah. There was a mistake there. So here we go. We have this upright bass now, and I guess I can just improvise a little bit with it. I know that this is not how you write Grisha, but I'm just kind of like. I can imagine your vocal melody running on top of that. Wait. And this came from just like listening to some random beats and stuff, and that's the whole point. No excuse to get stuck. Like all you need to do is to be creative, like, and to kind of maybe follow these guidelines. I don't know, like I don't want to record on top of this. I want to save it. So let me just go here and 2, 3, and. Whatever, that's what came out. I'm gonna do it like that. Yeah, that's what I have in mind. Whatever. So the point is experiment with BPMs. Like I was showing to my foundation students why I came to that realization. Like I want to show you a little bit of something that I'm writing for this movie, and I mean, and I really want to insist because I don't know. I think that people don't explore. Do you guys explore with BPMs a lot or not?
Not really, but yes.
Like you really have to experiment with BPMs a lot. Like make sure. I remember when I gave to my brother my first album so he can record it that I ever made in my life. Like this was in 2002, something like that. It was like 20 fucking years ago. When I gave him my first album, he just said like all BPMs are the same and all the keys are the same. That for me is boring. He just told me that, and it stuck to me. Like whenever you're writing an album or an EP or something, you really need to make a notation of what are the BPMs of each one of the songs, and maybe consider changing them so everything is different. This is obvious, because the effect that a BPM change will have in a song is insane. It's insane, and I know that you know this, but let me show you a great example of this. I hope that I can demonstrate it and that it would be clear. I need to check out something. I think it was this version 20. Just a moment.
2 years ago, I wrote the song called "Рядом с тобой,"
Да.
and I remember that in the beginning I added its classic calm beat,
Да.
and I finished with drum and bass beat.
Yeah, because you changed the BPM or just
Yeah.
like just how it evolved. Yeah. Wait, let me see if this is the case. I think that you're not listening to now. Wait a second. It's normal if you're not listening. I'm just trying to see if this is the version. Ah, yeah. Man, I wrote so. I mean, this is like, look, this is like one of the scenes of the movie. It's like version 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14.1. They're all different. They are all not absolutely different, but very different. 17, 18, 19, 20, and I'm in 23 now. Anyways, I wanted to show you something, but it will take me a bit of time to discover. The point was like, obviously changing the BPM is so dramatic. It's like, and only sometimes changing just 5 BPM. Like as you see, like the difference between 98 and 103 is huge. 98 was... It's not so huge in this case, but in sometimes like 2 BPM can make a huge difference. So anyways, let's get out of here. Let's get unstuck from here and continue going through the list that I made for you. So Lala, again, I explained this to everybody. It's just like everybody arrived at different times. This presentation is designed to be a list of ideas to help you get unstuck. Okay? Just so you know.
Yes.
And it's there, it's a collection of ideas. So we discussed like decompose some other stuff, use speech, use beatboxing, start from an idea. This is only about beats. This is the case we're looking at. Start from a specific drum pattern. Go to YouTube, download something and get it. And the next thing I said was like, write a chord progression and use it as a magnet, you know. So I have my unison chords here, the pack that I once recommended you to work on. Unison, not I recommended you, I gifted you once this like MIDI pack. Wait, I saw it, I found it yesterday. Unison, backup downloads, no, Unison, where is it? How is it called? I have it here again. I put it to you here again. Unison MIDI, for some reason is not finding it, and I do have it in my computer. I'm just gonna use Unison MIDI. Here it is. So yeah, and I'm just gonna use it to get a chord progression for me, and that's it. So I'm just gonna grab F major and get like progressions, and I'm just gonna get the diatonic ones, and I'm gonna get a minor one, and I'm just gonna grab any one that comes in there. And my point is like, you can use these guys to create new beats. So let me just do it here in the upright. I mean, you can use a chord progression as a magnet to write new beats, and then forget about the chord progression and then start again, but with your beats. That's kind of what I mean. So when I hear this, I don't know, depends on which what's the name? Depends on which genre I'm thinking about. But I hear already some little like basic hip hoppy thing, like. But that's okay. I mean, you can argue, well, man, but you have this in your head, so this is useless to us because I cannot think like that. Fair enough. That's what I heard in my head when I heard those beats. When I heard those chords, and then I can get rid of those chord progressions that I had and then start writing a new song with those beats. That's kind of what I mean. Let me just go here and load my this the Farfisa. Let's see, like. New song with the new chords, with the beats that I wrote by using another chord progression. Why would I like to do that? I don't know, but that's just a way to get unstuck. All right, so we end. That's what all the little options I put you to get on stock about how to create beats. Then there is like more focused on making musical ideas grow. We have already beats. What can we do? Just in case, I put it again for you. In case you lost it, here's a MIDI chord pack, so go and get it. Because I wanted to sort of like show you, and this is what we're gonna do in the last 30 minutes here. I've been meditating a lot about how to write melody ever since we started this course together, and a lot of this course has been about melody. And I have this like but this kind of like set of instructions, which is like creating melody on a noob level, creating melody on a pro level, creating melody on a boss level. So let's do the noob level and then move on upwards in the ladder to see kind of like how we can improve our melodies. Once that we already have a beat and we are not thinking about beats anymore, we're just thinking about melodies and we want to write something new. So let's go. All right, I'm going to load a piano because it's kind of easier to just write stuff on the piano, and then we will change those sounds quickly. And I'm going to use our MIDI pack just to speed up the choices of chord progression and just make something like that. So, okay, I'm going to load a piano here, and let me just load here piano and keys. I'm just going to load the grand piano, why not? Let me just put it here, grand piano, and just put it first. And so let's just drop any chord progression. You guys want to choose a key?
F major.
D minor, go. And I have progressions here. Do you want to choose any progression here? Choose a number.
5th.
5, go. Okay, great. So this is what came out. So I have this. And then it repeats the last, no. Yeah, it repeats them. So, okay, oh no, we have to write a melody to this. What can I do? Of course, we have the declarative and conversational idea on the table, which is pretty useful. But now we're exploring something a little bit different. It's kind of like the whole point of today is getting on stock. So let's see the noob level. So the noob level is like this. Choose a chord progression. We did this. Great. Play with a note within your chords. This is the noob level again. So let's grab one of those notes of the chords. It can be the root, the third, or the fifth. So let me just go like, let me just go one octave up. And then let me change the segmentation. I remember like, oh, fuck, there was this thing about declarative and conversational, and I'm writing a verse, so I don't want to fall on the upbeat. And then I have, what was the third? It was F, right? So I have A and F. So, really? Was it F? No, it was E. Sorry. So, of course, you need to find the key. You find the key, you know the key, you know which notes you can work with. And actually, to spice it up a little bit, I'm going to just make some variations here. So remember, that's the noob version. What else comes in? Add some rhythm variations. Play with notes within your chord. Add some rhythm variations. Let me just add here something that I didn't add yesterday. Remember the concepts of declarative and conversational to build something that strengthens the concept of what you're doing, And let me add this to each one of the versions, because that's an important commentary there that I forgot to add. I guess I need to reduce the size of this a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. Reduce it a little bit. Yeah, so we can fit this new thing. Boom. And here again. Yeah, here. Okay, So I was here like, okay, add some rhythm variations. That's what I was doing now. And then I made this bar there. Let me see it. And then I can repeat that first bar 4 times. So it's super boring, I know, but it's just like we are in new level. And then let's get this from here to here. That was a mistake, but it was cool. Anyways, let me just put it here. Okay, so I have copied the first part and I place it along the chord progression. And now we start changing notes around, and we're gonna choose. This is really important. We're gonna choose where the variations are gonna happen. So we're gonna do variation in the second bar and in the fourth bar. So again, I repeat just in case I'm not being so clear today. The point is ways I'm getting unstuck. This is now we're talking about melody. We already discussed some discussions. We had some discussions about beats. I was like getting unstuck with melody. Noob level. This is the easiest thing you can do. Then we're gonna raise the bar a little bit until we get to boss level. So we have made a decision of we created something for the first bar, and then we are going to make a decision of making variations on the second and the fourth. The first one and the third one we leave it untouched. So rhythm variations. Let me just increase the resolution of the grid, and for example, do something like this. And then I'm going to make a change of variation, a rhythmical and pitch variation on the fourth one, because that was my choice. I just, like, the whole point of this course is objectivizing your songwriting and stop it being like some sort of ethereal thing that you cannot control. So I made a rational decision. Where am I going to make changes? In the second and the fourth. Why? Because that's the reason why. I mean, there is no special reason. I just made that decision for myself. And later it suggests to, after we did the melody, change the rhythm of the chords a little bit. That's again on the noob level. So let me complete my variation on the fourth bar. So let me just start this one on the one, you know, kind of like to make it a bit more declarative right away, and not start on the fifth. No, it doesn't work there. Let me just move it a bit. So. Oh, nice. No, just really simple variation that came there. So what do we got in the end? Let me change a little bit the last two notes so it's not so repetitive, always the same ending. For example, very classical. And actually I don't like... Let me see if this works. Right, let's just hear it again. So, come on guys, no excuse. It's 11:44 in the morning. I have already written like 3 songs. If I can do this, you can do this. Of course, of course. So, next, the last point that I had there in the new... Well, I haven't written 3 songs, but like 3 proto ideas of songs. Switch the rhythm of chords a bit. So, the last stage I proposed you there would be something kind of like, okay, I'm gonna just, for example, do something like this. And then just repeat it here. this guy, and for example, I'm gonna start it a little bit later, just randomly there. So, and I'm gonna let this guy run a little bit longer. Let's see if this works. Whoa, some nice results there. And then I'm gonna do something here a bit random again, which would be start it here. Why not? Let's see what happens. And we lost the last chord because of some movement that I made here, so let me not do that. Let me just grab this guy. Wait, what happened there? Okay, wait, nothing happened there. And let me just put this guy here and put this guy here, like that. And so I ended up with something like this. Great, so that was the noob level. I'm gonna move on to the boss level. Sorry, not boss level, the pro level. So what do I have in the pro level in the instructions that I'm suggesting you to follow? Did I close the presentation? No, here it is. So in the pro level, we have choose your chord progression, great, and then add a catchy rhythm to your chord progression. So I'm gonna start with the same chord progression so we can compare the results. And that chord progression that we used was here. It was this one. And so, no, I don't want to do that. And so what I mean by that is something like this. So I'm gonna just grab this chord that I have here, and I'm gonna wait, and then I'm gonna, for example, this, and shrink it. I'm gonna do something like, and just create a rhythm to them instead of letting them it be a chord that is there just hanging. And then I'm gonna grab this guy and I'm gonna do like something like I'm just experimenting here, and just duplicate this guy like tick 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 tick. So for example, da 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 da. And then I'm gonna let it run like this, da da da. Like I want to do actually da da da, not da 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 da. Like just I want 3 repetitions of it. So and then let's go to something different here. And then what I have next. I'm gonna do pa pa pa. So I need this guy to be run a little bit longer. Pa pa. So I'm just gonna duplicate this guy for speed. Here, okay, and then shrink this like this. I need one more space, so pop, pop. And then let's just grab, now that I have the same chords and they repeat, so let me just grab this little piece here. And then da-da, I'm gonna do that, da-da. Da-da. So now I got this rhythm. Okay, that's cool. Da-da. Bam. I'm gonna do something kind of like that. I don't know, I don't think that I'm improvising this just from the grid. I mean, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just looking at the grid. Make this one hang just to make it a bit faster. Now I have a a new story. So okay, I have now the chord progression that used to be just some 4 chords there hanging became something a bit more interesting, and I started with that. So I made here, let me close this guy, and I made here this thing. Add a catchy rhythm to your chord progression. Done. Remember all the concepts of the clarity and conversational melody? Great, we already discussed this. And some swing and numerization to your MIDI tracks of your chord progression. So great, let me just go here, hold this guy here, and quantize it. And just quantize it like, for example, like something like 50%. Oh, that's too much. Let's see what happened there. I've just... No, it's not gonna work. So let me just quantize this and try to add some groove to it, or let it groovy a bit. Sorry, the reason why it sucked is because I chose the wrong quantization settings. It should be in 16, and also I want to add. Maybe you guys can help me in Ableton to do this quickly. Like how can I kind of like add swing to this? Is there a way to do it quickly here? I know how to do it in Pro Tools, but
Yeah, you can choose the groove on the right or on the left tab.
here.
No, where you can
Grooves,
choose
right?
plugins.
Yeah.
So
Grooves.
you have to choose a groove and drag it in a.
I see. So if I load like Calypso accent 16s, and I just drop it here. I see. And then is it already running, or do I need to do anything else?
Yeah, it is. You can see a tab. So a tab appeared.
This one?
Yeah, and you can choose the driver of the groove. You can see the 100%.
Where is it? On the left or on the right?
It's on the left. So a new tab appeared. You see? Groove name.
This one.
No.
I'm so sorry.
Like under the.
No.
So you see bass, quantize, timing, random, velocity.
I'm super stupid.
It's on the left, so the middle tab.
This one. I'm so sorry, bro. I'm very stupid here.
I can see your mouse, unfortunately.
I see. You cannot see my mouse. I see.
Yeah.
So it's here on the left.
Now I see. Like higher, bro.
Clip.
No, higher.
Bro. Fucking hell. I see.
Yeah.
I see. So it would be like quantize, right?
No, you can choose timing, so it's kind of like dry wet.
Got it.
So you're applying. Or how hard you're applying.
Great. Look at what happened there. And this was with Calypso 6, like, I don't know, let's try something. Bomba accent 16s. It's not loaded. I see. It's not loaded. I need to. This is my group pool. I remember this when I was doing the tutorials of Ableton. Like, this is my group pool, and now I have loaded it, right? It's gonna be in clip, group bomba accent. Now it's there. Great. Okay, great. So I have some proto idea there. That is using a groove. That's what I meant here. And now, look. Here's the next suggestion. Move the thirds of the chords up an octave. So let's grab the thirds of the chords. So, and let's just move them. Not copy them, move them. What was the note? It was E. So let's just pull it up. This is A. I didn't do it to all of it, so let me just grab this one, and the next one I need to grab it independently. So I was on E3, E5. So I did that, great. Move some bass notes, some, not all of them, some bass notes up an octave. So let's see. So this one should go to A2. So now I have, and then let's move this one. Let's leave this 2 up an octave. And I'm just gonna do this. So I'm gonna play with this. And like, let me just do this. And then leave this one here. This one I'm gonna grab a D2, so I'm gonna pull it to D3. And let me just get this one. And let me just put this one octave higher, why not? Cool, so I did that. I'm following this like set of steps. Write a melody to this setup that you have created. So we can repeat the new version of the melody, but because I have a richer movement in the chord progressions that I created, it's going to be more interesting. So, and I have to remember again the concepts of conversational and declarational melodies. So, let me see. So I'm actually, just for my sanity, I'm going to write this melody in another chord, in another MIDI line, because I just don't want to get lost there. So, wait, so let me just create an empty MIDI track. Here, insert empty MIDI clips, and let's just quickly add my little pencil. And just try to write a melody. Actually, I'm kind of like going to do this just for my sanity. Like, I'm going to duplicate this here. You know something I really wish that manufacturers of programs do? That you can color, maybe you can do it in Ableton, it would be amazing, that if you could color individual MIDI notes, it would be so cool. Why you can't do this? It would be so fucking useful to have this red, this green, this whatever. I would love to have that.
You actually can, but you need to create a second MIDI track.
So, like, you mean if I change the color of this MIDI track, all of them change color, right?
No. So you can, for example, you can create another MIDI track and put a melody there, and you just choose 2 tracks, and you will see like piano rolls of 2 tracks. But you can.
Yeah, I see your point. Like this. Yeah, like what I just hold them both together, and well, right now we don't see them because they're the same. But if I grab the lower one, yeah, I see your point. But that's not what I want. I just want to be able to choose a note and then just say this is gonna be green and then this is gonna be blue. Like, why not? Like, it would be so fucking useful, really. But anyways, so I'm trying to create a new melody, and now I have some new elements here because I made some groove of the whole thing. So let me just go like this. I think I'm gonna get rid of this groove right now from here because I don't want to get fucked up. Yeah. So. And remember, I'm in my mind, I'm in a verse, I'm not in a chorus, so I'm gonna avoid the upbeat. Great. Oops. Let me just get this. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna delete everything else because I'm gonna go crazy here. So I want to start from an empty MIDI clip again. I guess I'm gonna go crazy if I try to do it. And let's change the color. I like that color where we were before. Bring back my pencil. you see, I'm using this like original gap that I open on my chord progression to sustain my melody. I'm spreading too long. Now I'm thinking like this. After I give this course, I'm thinking like this, like, oh shit, like I'm spreading too wide in terms of the tonal center and where I'm moving. So it's not good. But I mean, whatever. I kind of like it, what's going on. Oh, that's I didn't want this note to go here. I wanted this note to start the next verse, the next bar. So ba 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 ba. You see my point? I mean, you see how richer place we're getting. We started on new level. And then we're here now. So, and so on. I mean, I'm not gonna continue now because our time is running over and I want to look at the rest of the presentation just like as an overview. So, you have here a whole bunch of ideas to create new beats, great, and then you have a whole bunch of ideas to create new music. So I started with this new melody, new pro and boss level. You have all the instructions there. The difference between the pro and the boss one, it's very similar. Wait, I have a mistake here for sure. Yeah, it's very similar. It starts with all the same steps. Wait, what have I done here? A little syncopation. I made a little mistake here for sure. Just give me a sec. Yeah. But so here is my mistake. This shouldn't be repeated. There it is. So basically, what comes after, sorry, it's like, okay, we wrote a melody to the setup we have created. Then we are gonna use the third and the fifth as ingredients of my melody. We did this. Follow catchy rhythms that you made. We did this. Copy your first bar to the rest of the bars. By the way, I didn't do this and I want to finish this. So it would be something kind of like this. I'm going to forget for now what I did secondly. And then I'm just going to copy this to the next bar. So okay, and there is some conflict and then I will make some modifications so I get something there. Copy your first bar to the rest of the bars and add variations. So you say, okay, let's change the second and the fourth, and then add an extra octave to your melody, and that will produce something more interesting. Now, in boss level, we are gonna choose our chord progression. We're gonna consider all the steps we did in pro mode, but we're gonna make some more harmonies, some rich variations, and a counter melody. And I guess that when we go back in January, we will discuss making a counter melody. But this is a really important idea, and I'm sad that the way the lecture came out doesn't allow me to explore it so deeply. Let's say that I'm in boss level, so I chose a chord progression, I consider all the steps in pro mode. I added variations on the first and the third bar. In the previous one, we were doing it on the fourth and the second and the fourth. And obviously, if I work on the one and the third bar, I'm gonna have, because you see, just like a bar has a strong and a strong and a weaker beat, as a 4-bar riff, if you think about your first bar and your third bar, they're also your strong and your weak bars. So that's really useful to remember and to think about. So once you add, for example, variations to the first and the third bar because you were thinking differently, then you create a counter melody. So the counter melody can be more contrasting or less contrasting. So more contrasting will be like slower in speed and higher in pitch, for example. And less contrasting will be equal or similar in pitch and in rhythm. So I'm sorry that I'm jumping so much in between A and B, but let me imagine that I'm going to create a counter melody for this little melody that I created here. So let's say that I want to create a counter melody that is contrasting. So I'm going to try to think about another register. For example, I'm going to go on the low register. And I don't need to necessarily be in an octave, and I'm gonna be in different pitch and in different rhythmical setting. So I'm gonna do something like this. Let me just... So that's a counter melody now. Like we have two melodies kind of competing for our attention. Okay, so you get the point. I mean, this could have been a melody on its own, and I'm really focused. Look how cool this sounds together. It feels like as if it was born to be together, but it was made so separately in such a different moment. I'm just following some rules. This, it just feels really like it belongs to the song, and it happened out of accident because I decided to make a more contrasting counter melody. So, then try to make your elements of your chord progression more interesting by added variations of the voicings, which means that I can then go and think about, I had a chord progression already, and then I can go and think about the voicings, right? It's like, okay, my chord progression have these voicings, so, and for example, I can, on the way to the next chord, make some variations in the voicings. Etc. I mean, I'm not going to demonstrate it fully, but I'm going from this to, and I mean, of course, with a piano it sounds like crap, but you develop this with some synths and everything, and you have a pop song, like for sure. So, add little syncopations in your melody for extra sauce. So, I mean, I can just go here and just think like, this is one case. It happened naturally. And for example, another case of a little syncopation would be, let me just see this. So great. Add another octave to your melody. So we would add another octave to our melody. So let's say that I grab this guy here, all of it, just for now. E4. Boom, you know, I have some music going on there. And then the last thing that it suggests is like, okay, now that you have done all of this, create a bass line. So with your bass on your chord progression. So at the moment, I'm just gonna, because I'm in a hurry, I'm just gonna grab this guy. So I was in A1. I'm gonna go to A0. And for example, I can think like to taru. I'm kind of doing that like. No, that doesn't work. Etc. And I go and develop a bass line. So, damn, man, like we did it in 30 minutes, like, and etc. Imagine the potential of this on 6 hours, you know, just thinking about it carefully. It's just, you cannot get stuck, really. Okay, so what else comes out from this set of ideas? I'm just going to show you the titles and then we're done. So I'm proposing to you a several set of options. Wait, let me just put this on a standalone. Let me just put this like on a standalone, which would be create a new melody. So case 1, create a new melody out of a chord progression. So we have here noob, pro, boss level. So that's what we just discussed slightly. And so you have these ideas now. Where did this end? Yeah, you have the unison chord MIDI chord pack that you can use to choose chord progressions. And then you're like, okay, then the case 2. Start with a specific drum pattern. How do I make drum patterns? Well, I just made you half a lecture of it. You have it all there and you can think about drum patterns. So one option that you have to create a new musical idea is to start from a drum pattern. That's obvious. And you have already a guide on how to create a drum pattern. Then the case 3, obviously, is more like a sound design case, which is like, I went and I was spending weeks just finding sounds that I like, and I have this sound in the app synth that is called Twilights, and I'm gonna open that sound and just do something with it. What can I do with that sound? I can like find it, I can get tactile with it, and then for example, I can Google a cappella singers if I don't know how to write melody, and I can extract like something from an a cappella singer. I told you this in Foundation, and then I can chop it, manipulate it to create a melody like that. That's another pro tip. And then play around with that sound in that melody that I took from an a cappella singer or whatever, following the steps that I showed you above. And just listen to what's going on, then find some beats for it, then create a low-end accompaniment, and then listen to your ideas that come at that stage. Another way you can start writing music, obviously, is from a chord progression. The same, like I say, with the beats. You have the chord progressions there, all of the possible chord progressions, so no way to get stuck. This I'm gonna delete it. We discussed this with you before. We discussed this with you already. So regardless of whatever you're doing, you want to get to an idea A and idea B. So maybe you are going to have to you choose like 2 sets of chord progressions. So you have idea A and B, and you can move faster. Then you find out like a melodic idea in following the ideas that I shared with you above, and then create beats and then bass. I mean, this is repeating. So this can be deleted. This can be deleted. This can be deleted. Of course, don't forget to lock in kick and basses and find spaces in between claps and snares. So this is a whole bunch of anti-getting stuck material for you to, flow. So yeah, that was our work for today. Like I told to Andrea at the beginning, like I really kind of like want to develop a really good lecture on choosing tonality, and this is outside of my comfort zone. So that's why today I was kind of like using some old material and trying to put up a guide for you to get on stock. And in between now and January and all the Perez, I'm going to be studying very hard so I can deliver the material that I want. We are in lecture 12 and there are 34, so we still have 22 lectures ahead. So there will be so much material covered here that I don't feel shy to kind of like put together this little guide to give it to you to see if it's useful for your life. Any other comments, questions, ideas? Was this terrible? Was this useful? Did this mean something to you?
It was very motivational.
Huh?
It was very motivational.
Very motivational. Great. I mean, it's like if I could do this with 2 kids after going to sleep at 4 a.m., building all these musical ideas in front of you, of course you cannot get stuck. It's not allowed. Look, Lana Del Rey is telling you, like, come on, man, you can do it. So
I kind of want to try all of them now. Yeah,
just go ahead. I'm telling you now.
Can we make a
Tell me, bro.
Sorry.
Tell me.
Can we make a competition who will make more songs in 30 minutes?
We can make this competition, of course. Like we should make it in a future lecture. I wanted to say that now I'm under a lot of pressure. You see, like I need to write 75 minutes of music, of original music for a soundtrack, and it's like, man, like imagine, like tell me something. If I show you something, I'm gonna close the stream because I don't want to stream this.